Alright, today we will be going through printf, scanf, and implementing variables that we can scan and then later print out. So as always, we will be including in the library studio.h, and then we want to have an int main with two empty parentheses. Now, we want to make two different curly braces here, and we want to implement a variable. Say we want to implement int x. Now what we want to do here is we want to scan this variable, and since we implemented this variable as int, it's an integer, which is why we're going to be scanning it as %d. And then after we scan it as %d, we put a comma, and then we want to identify what integer we have scanned, because of course we can put many different integers, so we have to know which one we are scanning. And in this case, we always want to type in a and symbol to store the value of the integer x. And then we end the line over here. And now we want to print this variable out. Whatever we scanned, we want to print it out. So we do a printf, and then we do %d. Because we scanned %d, we want to print out the same variable that we scanned in. Another comma, and we put the variable after the comma. You only store with the symbol after the scan, not in the print. And of course, always end it with a semicolon. Now we try to run this program, and you see anything we will be putting here will return the same number again. And it's only numbers because we put in integers. So if we put in 1, it will return 1 and close the program down. Say we don't want it to close the program. We want the program to keep going on forever and ever until we tell it to stop. What we could do is we could do a while and then do a parenthesis over here. And I'll tell you what this while does later in the videos, but for now you can just see and do as this says. So you see we put the while before the scanf function, and then we do 2 equals to symbols, and we type in whatever number here is the amount of variables that are in the scanf. So we see there are one variable, which is %d, which is the x. So we type in 1 over here. Say there was 2 %d's over here. That means we will be typing in 2 over here. But for now, let's stick with 1, and I'll show you how to do the other one later. And now we want to include the while with the printf. And then we do that with curly braces. We have a curly brace over here, and we can end a curly brace over here. And then we run the program, and now it will give us 1 gives 1, and then 2 gives 2, and then 3 gives 3, and then 4 gives 4, and so on and so forth. What we could do is we could add a \n over here so that the program automatically prints out a new row for us so that we don't have to press enter twice. So 1 gives 1, 2 gives 2, 3 gives 3, 4 gives 4, and so on. Let's say we wanted to implement more than one variable in this program. What we could do is we can just do int y and int z, for example, or just int y, it doesn't really matter. And we can do it like this, or we can do it like this. It doesn't matter, both work, but it's probably easier to do it like this so you don't have to write a bunch of unnecessary code. Here we scan those 3 variables that we just implemented, or the 2 that we implemented, and of course, since it says 1 here but there's 3, so we want to change this to 3. Now we want to just print out these variables again, so let's just do that as so. And I've actually forgot to store them. So we have stored in x, but we also want to store in y, and we want to store in z. And of course, we print them out, but we also want to say what we're printing out. Now we're only saying that we're printing out x. So we want to say that we print out y, and we also want to print out z. Now, if we run this program, now we will be able to type in 3 different integers, which will be all printed out again. and whatever, say 1, 2, 3, will always print out 1, 2, 3. And you saw that it would always go on the same line, so of course just add a \n over here and try to type in 3 integers like so. And this program won't end until we type something like a letter, and it stops the program.